Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Dumb SEO Questions, episode 252. Each week we meet here to answer the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google+, and also questions asked on the Dumb SEO Questions Facebook group. With us tonight we have David Rozan. He lives about 67 miles north of Dieppe. He's an internet marketer. He's based in the south of England. And Masataki Wasa is based in middle London, I guess, Wimbledon. Masataki is webmaster of wasaweb.net, and he's also a Google top contributor on the AdSense community. Rob Mars is an AdWords aficionado. He's based in the Netherlands, and he's also a Google top contributor in web search and AdWords. No? Yes? Close? Anyway, Tim Capper. Tim Capper is CEO of onlineownership.com. He's a conversion rate optimization specialist. He's proud to call himself an SEO. He's based in Corby. And if you don't know where Corby is, it's about, I suppose about 20 miles north of London. Is it? It couldn't be. It has to be north. If it was south, it'd be in the water.
No, it's 90 miles.
90 miles?
Yes, mate. Yes, I'm in the Midlands.
I didn't know there was 90 miles in the whole of the UK.
Yeah, now behave yourself. We're going to have problems today.
All right, let me tweet that and we'll move on to our first question. I'm not sure how many we've got tonight. Here's a question from Danny Ladd. I'm not sure if we'll have advice for him, but it's a question titled Getting Backlinks from Many Authority Sites. And he said, hi guys, I hope you're doing well. I need a few ideas. I'm doing guest posting, approximately 6 to 7 a month, and I get backlinks from many authority sites with the Moz domain authority 50 plus. But I want to improve these two things, and I don't know what to do. One, a catchy subject line for a better open rate. And two, get many prospects in less time. Is there any trick or automation? Looking forward to your positive response. Not sure that you'll get it. Thanks.
Yeah, right. So for titles, there's quite a few out there actually. Just Google search guest blog title generator. And there's quite a few different sites. They all kind of work off the same back end basically, but it'll give you some ideas. You can switch things around, you know, and it'll just give you some ideas on catchy titles. Of course, if you want to delve more into the psychology of the whole thing, which, you know, it's quite an art to writing you know, stuff, you can always reach out to David, who runs writing for SEO. He'll sort you straight out there. But yeah, so like there are things. Yeah, the other thing, what was your other tell me about what? Oh, you want to prospect in terms of, I suppose, finding more guest posts. Well, here's the thing. Even if I did know, I would just tell you it's probably a pointless exercise. And the reason I'm saying that, Danny, is because you are spending time and money creating content on other people's sites that are attracting those potential readers and visitors. You should be putting that on your own site. You should be creating great stuff on your site for your customers. They come to your site, and then, you know, they're on your site. You have attracted them. They're on your site. Then it's your job to convert them, whatever it may be, whether it be a product, whether it be a service, or whether it just be, you know, or whether it just be I don't know, a leads or lead generation, whatever your site's about. The point is, you need to get them to your site. Now, I know you're going to say, oh yeah, I get these links. Well, links ain't worth crap if you ain't getting the people to your site, are they? Are they? So you can go out there and create all these kind of things, all these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of links, but they ain't worth jack at the end of the day if you're not getting that traffic. Oh, okay. So yeah, my one or two keywords is increasing a little bit here or there, but you'd probably be doing the same thing if you were creating that content-rich stuff on your own site, and you'd probably be increasing your positions for particular keywords just as fast if you were creating that content on your own site, with the added bonus that readers are actually coming to your own site and converting on your site. So, you know, at the end of the day, I would really rethink this whole, you know, guest blogging thing. Yeah, just actually weigh it up. Actually sit down and look at the cost in terms of time, benefit, and what are the actual benefits. Because, you know, apart from a link, you know, what's the benefit? If you're landing a link and you're not getting the traffic to you, there is no point. Literally no point.
Thank you, Tim. I was hoping you'd say something like that. All right. Anybody else want to add something to that? We tweak that and we'll go to the next. I hope that proves useful to you, Danny. Kath Dawson Courtney asks a question. It's titled Restructuring URL. Kath said, a retail site I am auditing has all of their products structured as www.domain.com/product-name and not www.domain.com category/subcategory product name. Products are in multiple categories that are sensibly organized, e.g. gifts and collections, by applications, etc. She said, I can imagine that someone thought that it's much easier to deal with this issue by just giving the products a direct URL with no need for rel canonical. Budgets are not big for spending on development, and there are other issues higher on the list. And the look and the feel of the site are generally good, so there's not a major argument for redeveloping the site. If I was starting from scratch, I'd suggest www.domain.com/category/subcategory/product name and use rel canonical to point duplicates to the page. That would make most sense to rank. But how much of an improvement are they likely to see by restructuring now? It's a Magento site, so I'm thinking it might not be too much work to get the products into a topical structure. Your thoughts are welcome. See, Ellen Blue Eyes has given a very long answer here on the Dumb SEO Questions group on Facebook. Can't wait to see what he has to say.
So, look, Kathy, sorry, Kath. Okay. So in an ideal world, you would have a proper hierarchical structure. You would have your top line categories, and then you would have the products within the categories on that structured URL. In an ideal world. Now, yeah, I mean, like Alan said, it all depends on how big this company is going to grow, in the sense of how many more products is it going to be adding. Is it at its peak now, and then there's probably, a couple of years added, or is there plans for exponential growth? So the situation there is, if there's like a massive plan for growth, I would probably rethink the whole one. Okay. But I would, you did category, subcategory, and then URL. I would just do obviously category and then the URL for those in there. I wouldn't include another subcategory, because you're just going to get into issues. Now, it all depends on how you, like I said, it's all depends on what the business model is here. Is it going to agree? Okay. If not, you can still work with these actually on page in basic HTML and give an understanding of the structure. So, for example, you've got your top line category, and then you've got products within the subcategory, or you've got a subcategory there. You can always just, in the body copy of the site, just put a link just saying view all, and then into that category. Quite easy. Then again, within the actual products, if the products don't link to other ones in there, you can actually always link from the product back to the subcategory and the top line category. Now, in the actual product, you can say, in the actual product description, or at the end of it, or on that page, just if you're interested more in all our pink fluffy elephants, boom, and you put a link back to the top line category. And if you'd like to see more colorful purple, check out our purple fluffy elephants, boom, and you link it to the purple fluffy elephants. I think the question here is, what are the plans? If it's going to exponentially grow, I would sort out your structure now. If not, you can quite easily create the understanding. You can also do it in for example, in the terms of guides. You can create guides on site that discusses the whole thing. You creating, a guide on site which talks about the product. Then it creates a guide for the actual products in terms of the strokeability of pink fluffy elephants. Why is it better to? What's that freaking noise? Why is it
some sort of bird chirping? Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm muted, Rob. We seem to be all right now. So yeah, you can create guides which actually, in a sense, create gives Google the idea of all the products and categories and subcategories within it. So there are ways of doing it, but the point here that you need to think about or discuss with the client, what's going to be the potential business growth here, and then if not, then just work at it on the site itself. If there is, then it's time to look at redevelopment.
Excellent. And I was just reading through some of the responses on the Dumb SEO Questions group on Facebook, Tim, and they more or less all agree with your thoughts. But what impresses me are the number of people that are willing to step up to the plate, and on behalf of the people asking these questions, we thank them most sincerely. Will we go on to the next one? Yep, I'm taking it as a yes. This one is just a listing. A lady contacted me. She wanted us to go. There is a conference on in Bali very shortly. You can get the details and the link from the SEO news community on Google+. It's titled Digital Marketing Skillshare 2017. If any of you guys would like to participate in a remote Ask Me Anything, she really wanted somebody. I said she thought I would do it, and I'm just too old. Anyway, let's go on to the next.
Oh,
anyway,
no way!
Bali.
Yeah, no, sorry, man. I'm just looking at that. That's like a 20-hour flight from the UK. No thanks. I mean, they're cheap enough, but freaking 20 hours? No. I'd love to, but no thanks.
All right, here's one from Gina Fidel, who's celebrating her birthday today. Gina Fidel has a question titled Self-Designated Page Descriptions. Gina said, did I hear something a little while back that Google is now using self-designated page descriptions less often? I just noticed they have removed our home description and replaced it with our H1.
They've been doing this for
years.
Yeah, quite a long time. They will change it based on the user's search query and what they feel is best to the particular user and their search query. And they've been doing that for a long, long time. It's nothing new there.
Yeah, they're always messing about with such things, aren't they? It's very much down to the search and how Google are feeling about it that day.
And also, of course, if you've I think that Dawn mentions that over-optimize. So if, for example, there's the structure on a homepage has always been the business name or brand name, and then a descriptor, for example, in the title tag. But people don't. It'll be the name and then Tim's fluffy elephants, and it's best pink fluffy elephants in the world. But if you, these titles where people went best pink fluffy elephants, new pink fluffy elephants, and secondhand pink fluffy elephants, and then the name at the end, Google's been correcting that. Well, for even longer, they were doing that even longer. Descriptions, yeah, a long time.
All right, shall we move on with the next? Let's tweak that one and we'll be on our way. All right, Darlene Jai Hanchett has a question regarding schema for a law firm. Darlene said, I have the location and review schema set up, but is there a schema tag for the practice areas / services?
Well, yeah, there is. I don't know. You will have to test it to see if it works within the law firm actual markup. You'll have to test that. But in fact, if you go onto my site, I published local business structured data last night. So onlineownership.com, and then there's a local business structured data guide that I published last night, it includes for a taxi service which uses a geo-coordinate setting and a radial and a radius, so for the actual service area. So whilst you can't specifically say it serves this area, you can say it's at a geographic location. You can't with geo-coordinates, you can't actually, just say, type the towns. You've got to use geo-coordinates. So yeah, you can certainly do it. However, I won't know if that will be accepted as part of a law firm. You'll have to test it in a structured data testing tool.
Thank you, Tim. All right, will we move on to the next? Let me tweet there. Okay, so Patty Mantaloons asked the question titled, "Accordion's content is indexed but devalued." Patty said, "So the last I heard, content hidden by JavaScript toggling, etc., e.g. accordions, is indexed but devalued. Is this still the case?"
I believe it is, but you can quickly check. So for example, booking.com, I think, yeah, there's tons of sites out there, but let me just quickly find a hotel. Dublin. We pick the first hotel. Central Park Hotel. That's got the accordions, or is it TripAdvisor, or is it? Oh no, hang on, they've changed theirs. That's all on single page now. Oh god, I hate pop-ups. Fuck off. Sorry, that's all on the same page. Or Expedia. Yeah, there's been quite a few. Has done quite a few things on these with testing them. But yeah, it's indexed, and but sorry, I can't find an example exactly off the tip of my head now. Changed into single pages.
Sorry,
well,
Tim, I had my mic muted. Speaking of the Jean SEO, did I see a photo of Dan's on Facebook with Josh Basinski in the background? No, nobody else saw it? No. Okay. All right. So consensus opinion is that the accordions, like these are the things that collapse on a menu, or how Google is structuring its additional data it's posting. The indexed, it's still indexed but devalued. Okay, let's move on to the next. Did I tweet that? No, obviously not. All right, so this one from JL Faverio. This question sparked a lot of interest on the Dumb SEO Questions Facebook group. Anyway, JL Faverio said that impressions dramatically decreased after a conversion to WordPress. Goes on to say, after converting a large HTML/PHP website to WordPress, the client's clicks and impressions dramatically decreased almost immediately. What's the smartest way to get the traffic back to where it was? Is that an alarm going off at your place, Robert? Not a smoke alarm, is it?
I guess the question has to be asked here, was a proper migration plan put in place, or, you know, what is actually happening here? Did they just, hello? Hello? Am I still there?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, David.
Hello.
I got a weird noise and a black screen.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was saying whether they just slapped it onto WordPress and didn't take too much notice of what was happening to the URL structure, or whether they mapped the site first and put all the 301s in place and so on and so forth. If they've just done the former, then yes, they've certainly caused a little bit of confusion in Google's mind, I would think, because everything's in the wrong place. So depends where you're starting from as to what the answer is. If you didn't put a migration plan into place, you're going to have to backpedal and work out where you were and put 301s in. Either that, or you wait for ages for Google to work it all out.
Yeah.
If you have put the 301, hello.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you know, it's going to be a bit of spreadsheet time now. You need to spreadsheet all the previous URLs. Let's say column A. You need to then spreadsheet all your new URLs, and you need to work out which pages are effectively, you know, which pages redirected into which, in the sense that, so did you lose any pages? Which were your top line pages? You know, those ones need to redirect to the new top line, the relevant top line. You don't need to redirect every single page in the site, but it's your top line ones, your category, your products. Obviously, I don't know what site kind of you've got, or your main service pages, or your main ones. Start with those ones first, obviously. If you can't remember what the previous pages were, well, that's going to be a bit of a problem. Hopefully, you may still have. Oh, yeah, but I would certainly start with your top line, your categories, subcategories, products, services. Redirect all of those to the new relevant pages. That's going to be your starting point. 301 redirect, kind of like today. Way back when machine might have a copy of his site if you get stuck on some pages. The other way, just trying to think. I suppose once you've done those ones, if you're having difficulty, you know, you're going to have the list of all 404s in your Google Search Console. You can literally manually go through all those 404s. One thing to look at is what, you know, the past traffic on pages were. Obviously, you want to capture, which will also be in your analytics. You want all your past traffic pages, which in theory were, you know, very popular pages or traffic pages in the site. You want to make sure that those ones are redirecting to their new URL. Yeah, you can check all, you know, once you've done that, if you've still got 404s, then you manually start checking them to see, you know, actually what was that page. It'll remind you, right, what's this page? Was this page of benefit to me? Or have we actually created a new page that this was just a tiny little page that, yeah, you know, so you don't need to like 301 redirect everything now because you've done the damage. It's essentially identifying your top line, all the ones that had traffic to them before, and then 301 redirecting those ones. Little things like image files and things like that. Yeah, you know, in a proper migration you would have, but now it's like, no, don't bother.
Yeah. David, did you have anything you wanted to add on that?
No, the the completeness of Tim's utterances has had me prostrate upon the ground in a worshipful way.
I would like to add something.
Oh,
go ahead.
In the last post, he writes that indexed anymore. So that would mean redirecting wouldn't have any effect at all.
Yeah, there's a bit of a problem with your audio there, Rob, but I get what you're saying. He's the last post. He said it looks like none of the old links are indexed when I search site:/domain.com. And it's possible that somebody's accidentally done a removal request. But
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Masataki said your audio has gone from God level to Darth Vader. Yeah. The thing that strikes me is that as soon as he made this change, all of his stats disappeared. I wonder, I mean, the possibility is that he got a penalty at exactly that time, or he left off the Google Analytics code in the news site, because I don't think I've ever come across a situation where the traffic just dried up immediately.
Wasn't dried up completely. He still gets visitors with a higher click-through rate.
Yeah, definitely Star Wars. Where's your lightsaber?
He's still getting visitors with a higher click-through rate even.
All right, let's move on to the next. I think I've tweeted this one already. Yes, I have. All right, let's go to the next one. Here's a simple question from JL Faverio. How do you determine a client's competitors? Sometimes the client doesn't know who they are.
Well, just type in a keyword and they show up like magic.
or use SEMrush, as someone said in the answers there on Facebook or wherever this lot have been extracted from. The amusing thing I find is that some clients don't understand the difference between their say their retail competitors on the ground and those that they're competing with on the net. So it could well be that there are two different sets of competitors. And when you report back to the client with a list of their competitors, they say, what's happened to Woolworths and Jones and Higgins and other such places that aren't featuring on the on your list? So yes, that's a bit by the by, but yes, you can do it Rob's way, or you can do it the SEMrush way, or other ways as well, I would think.
Thank you, David. All right, let's tweak that and move on to the next. JL Faverio, another question saying, I'm very new to Schema. Every generator I've used online says it's missing one or two properties, and I've been unable to get a full yet basic schema code to add to a client website. Which generators do you guys use? Anybody? I think Tim's otherwise occupied with a phone call. He'd be the first person we'd ask this question. See, Ben Jariola gives an answer. If you just check the official site at schema.org, many schemas can be applied. And he said, I believe there'll never be 100% complete plugin to do it all. It's quite all right to use, I think it is anyway. I better ask you guys. But it's usually okay to use different schemas on the same page. And in some cases, one schema is good for Google, but not necessarily for Bing. All right, let's move on from this one. Okay, a question from Blake Mitchell. Do you guys think click-through ratio and bounce rates are ranking factors? This drew some great responses on the Dumb SEO Questions Facebook group.
I tend to believe that they're not. Sorry, was someone else talking there, or was that me feeding back? Not sure. I tend to believe that they're not. This has been one of those stories that bounces around for years, particularly with CTR. But who knows? As someone said in the comments, there is this question of whether it's correlation or causation. So who knows?
I think click-through rates, possibly in the sense that, Google presents search results, what they feel is best for a particular search query, and over time, if 1 to 5 are just, what they feel. It all depends on what the search query is, but if they're landing on that kind of document type site, do they then sit and figure out, well, how long is the person going to stay and read that, etc., etc.? I think it's very difficult. Bounce rate, of course, Google shouldn't be using your analytics. And of course, every page in your site is going to have a different bounce rate. You know, your bounce rate on your contact page should be 100%, because ideally they wanted to contact you. That would be the end result of them trying to contact you. So they're not, you know, if I searched contact XYZ, they're not going to display you, because that page is 100% bounce rate, for argument's sake. I couldn't honestly say whether they are ranking factors. Only Google really knows.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether they use it as a ranking factor or not, but click-through ratio, they have the means of measuring that, and also the means of finding if people click through from a site and they're back again looking for another one straight away, then it obviously they didn't find what they were looking for on that particular site. So it seems logical to me that that would affect the ranking of a site, but it would be negative, not positive.
Yeah, but that all depends on what the site is and what the query was. Because if they're searching for the elephants, right, and every single top 10 site is Pinterest of pink fluffy freaking elephants, they're you know, Pinterest sites, which I kid you not, are like just taking over the fucking place. In fact, I found one today, studio photo shoot ideas. Every top 10 results is Pinterest. So the point is it depends on the search query, and every single different search query is going to, you know, is the search query related to something in depth? Is the search query related to a particular product? They also expect users to shop. You're not going to buy the first blue jumper you come across. They expect you to shop around, I'm assuming. You know, so by looking straight away at what the person's looking for, and because he didn't stay on that site and purchase and went back and then went to another and then went back and went to another, you know, that is going to be one of a really, really, really difficult thing. You know, it's not just a simple case of, oh, did they click through and did they stay, or how long did they stay, and then, you know, where did they go after that? It is too simple of a metric.
Yeah, true. All right, so will we call that an answer for Blake? Hello, Micah.
Hello, how's it going?
All right, I think when I click this button, what will happen is that we'll get the message that we see once a week. Yep, it's thank you for watching time. And if you are still with us now, we thank you for watching. Your interest in what we do makes what we do worthwhile, and for that we thank you very much. We'll be back at the